No.
No, doggy. No. There he is. Look at that. Live sound effects in the background today. You put him up on the screen and you get the sound effects. It's one of those things, isn't it? Put the dog on the screen, get the sound effects in the background. It's a twofer. 2 for 1.
It's a trooper. Troop for one.
A troop for one. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a better way to do your Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers, everyone. If you're out there today, make sure that you're getting... Oh, look at that nice mug you've got.
Look at this nice mug.
Yeah.
Everything in my room looks really blue because of the contrast I've had to put on my camera. So the white balance is blue. Everything else looks normal. The mug kind of reveals it's white at the bottom there. So if you're thinking that looks very blue for something that's white, it's just the white balance.
I love that explosion that happened when you put it down. Now that was a birthday gift because you had a big birthday this week.
I did have a big birthday. I turned 7.
Did you?
No.
No.
I turned 21 though.
Yeah. How was that?
It was all right. It's kind of like being 20.
Yeah. But another year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning, Em.
Good morning.
But yeah, I turned 21, which is basically like being 20 with an extra year. If for those of you that haven't been 21 before,
morning, Michael.
It's a pretty unique experience. So I'm not sure how relatable that is.
Well, now listen. What I want to know, because it was a long time ago being 21. When you're 21, how old do you feel? Do you feel 21, or do you feel younger than 21?
I mean, I was finished with uni when I was 20, so I feel like I feel like I already felt 21 anyway.
Right. So you felt 20. So yeah. So you're in that kind of dynamic where at 20 you felt 21.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's kind of no bridge. Yeah. Of course, when you get older, quite a lot of people say that you feel like a younger age. Yeah. And that younger age then depends upon what age you are. Let's find out from the audience, actually. I don't know what ages you actually are, but what age do you feel this morning? What age do you actually feel like you're still stuck at that age? Or do you feel like you're still in your 20s if you're in your 30s? Do you feel like you're in your 40s if you're in your 50s? Just throw out some random ages. You know, we'll take whatever you throw at us.
After moving that wood yesterday, we got delivered. My back kind of feels like it's 200. So we're sort of in an interesting dynamic where my back feels a lot worse than the rest of me.
Now that is definitely something that happens with older age. When you get to my age, you definitely sometimes you do feel like you're still maybe in your 20s or 30s, and then you realise when you do something physical, no, you're not. 145 this morning.
Past the WD-40. Does the WD-40 work? Because if so, I will also be having some of it.
I've got some actually somewhere. I'll just...
Jody remembered it was Friday today, so clearly a better way to do Friday does not have a job anymore because Jody already knows what day it is.
Well, no, but it's still a better way to do Friday, though.
That is true. We can make your Friday even better.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm afraid I'm going to have to get rid of the dog in the background now. It's just the dog's going to... Oh, no!
He took over.
It did. Took over. Oh, I'm going to say virtual background, none. Look, and actually there it goes. It turns back into a green screen. We're going to be talking about, as we normally do, anything social media this morning. Yes. If you've got something that you want to ask a question about social media, you've got something you want to get off your chest, social media wise, something that you've seen on any platform. It doesn't have to be one of the ones that we're broadcasting on, which is LinkedIn and Twitter. Anything that you've seen out there, do put it in the comments. We can chat about it. If you want to come onto the program, that's fine with us as well. We'll just give you the link. Just put a comment in the comments saying, yes, I'd love to come on. We will make sure that we get you the link And there you go. Good morning,
Chris.
Chris. Good morning. Someone killed that. No, not really.
Honestly, yeah, this show, as always, it's just you bring your questions or topics that you'd love to hear us talk about. We have set things we'll talk about. If nobody's got anything, Trooper's going to keep on barking this morning.
Yeah, we're broadcasting live from Batsy Dog's home. We're having a great time here. It's the weather's raining. But it's all good. Now, one of the things.
Let me ask him to find his ball quickly.
Do that. Get your ball. One of the things that I posted about this morning is selfies on LinkedIn. I just said, there's a lot of them at the moment, and I don't have a problem with that at all. I actually love a good selfie. I've said, Addison Cave, you could have made your bed, says Chris. Trust me, that is made.
Everything is in the wash for my bed, so this is just covered. That's about the best that we've got going on here at the moment. It is washing day for all the bed stuff. So don't be alarmed.
Don't be alarmed. He does actually wash sheets and everything and keep clean. So that's good. No, no bed bugs.
One better than uni.
Absolutely. So back to the issue, the subject of selfies. Nothing wrong with selfies at all. Love a good selfie. But the thing is, what I was really talking about is there enough creative content on LinkedIn, or is it just one cycle after another? At the moment, we seem to have we had like a spate of selfies followed by a spate of posts on people taking selfies, then a spate of people hating on selfies, then a lot of posts on people talking about why are people hating on selfies. It was kind of like selfie overdose, really, in terms of content, and it was kind of, in the end, it was nothingness content. Do we have too much of that on LinkedIn? And some great comments that people were making on the post this morning. Some people saying one of the things that they like on LinkedIn is the fact that there is that kind of backroom chat type of material going on. That there is that available. That kind of lighter content that you can just enjoy. But they said when they originally came to LinkedIn, there was a lot more content which they could actually learn from. And now the problem is it's all mished up together and they can't necessarily put their hands on it. So is the problem LinkedIn itself? Is the problem the mechanism by which you get this stuff? Why can't we just have like an easy to dip into LinkedIn and then there you go?
I mean, the thing is about bandwagons is it's really interesting, especially you using that term, Graham, because it's not something I would normally use, especially on socials. And I'd love to hear what people in the comments think and you think about bandwagons and the difference between a bandwagon and a trend. And because the whole of social media is basically built around trends anyway. So I'd love to hear how you think a bandwagon differs from a trend.
That's interesting. And M's used that term as well. There's so many bandwagons on LinkedIn at the moment. I think the difference between a trend and a bandwagon, is there a difference? No, maybe there's not. But I think it's just to do with the creativity. Maybe it's just to do with the creativity around there. Maybe it's just to do with the substance. I don't know. But it just feels like nobody's adding every time. Maybe on other platforms, it's more to do with the fact that, yes, someone sets a trend, but when there's that trend, someone tries to put their own stamp on that trend and when they copy it. No?
It's kind of what trends are, though. I think there's more
movement in a trend.
Yeah, okay. I'll concede that there is more movement typically in a trend, but I do think that basically a lot of it is that we haven't had trends in the same way on LinkedIn at the moment as well. We haven't had trends on LinkedIn prior to this that have been in the format of a lot of trends that are on like Facebook and stuff. And the selfies trend was a really good example, or the selfies bandwagon on LinkedIn. That's just a trend. That is exactly the same as a normal trend where, and people that don't do loads of social media don't understand the importance of trends or the reason why trends develop. And one of the big reasons why trends develop is because it's people that are not overly creative with their content. It's really simple for them to do social media by just keeping up with trends and doing whatever the trend is. So I do not think that creativity is always part of a trend. Oh, this will be great. Anything that starts with LinkedIn being frustrating has me on board.
Yeah. I've always used LinkedIn as my sales tool, which has been incredibly successful in the past. But I think there's been a shift in people having accounts for the sake of it rather than using it as a platform for business to help other businesses. Really interesting. Thanks there, Michael. What can I say? The thing is that we've had the shift. The shift has happened. We've shifted over to it being predominantly a social media platform, and with that, it's shifted into the realms of social selling as every other social media platform, right? Once upon a time, my friend, it was, as I keep saying the term, it was a Rolodex system for business. You know, you came on and you went, I wonder who's around in business that does this. Oh, you look interesting. I'll connect with you. We have a conversation. We do some business, and then you go, right, I'm going to dip into it again next week, find out who's around. And actually, you probably didn't use it on a day-to-day basis, or even as people use it now, in and out of it all day long. It was really kind of just come up to the coalface, get what, chisel out what you want from it, and away you go. But it's gone from that now. That's gone. But there does seem to be this kind of dichotomy happening on LinkedIn. There are still people that want to use it as a business tool, and they still want sort of the learning experience, and they want content that they can learn from and get informed from and everything else. And then on top of that, there seems to be the trends. I come back to what I was saying earlier. Do wonder whether part of it is the problem with the way that it's laid out, the user interface.
Well, you know what they need, don't you?
What?
They need the LinkedIn Business Suite or something like that. A tab that is basically just designed for you. If you just only want business stuff and you don't want to see anyone's personal posts, and the whole way that would be successful is that LinkedIn would have to employ a team of people that work alongside an algorithm to actually curate the business tab on LinkedIn, and they go through and they tag different posts into the business tab, so you're just receiving business stuff.
Yeah,
that seems to be the only way through, because they are not going to move away from the social thing because there's so many more people here now.
Okay, can we just? I want you to pick up on Jodie's comment as well. There.
Yes.
You know what it is? He wants his money, right? That I'm talking about our sausage dog now. We've named our latest newsletter. If you haven't got subscribed to it yet, do subscribe to our latest newsletter. It's completely pointless, but you can subscribe to it and it's great fun. It's called We Love Sausage Dogs, and it does feature our sausage dog called Trooper, who's the one that's barking in the background, and he probably wants paying for that now. Okay, so Jodie says, oh yes, Instagram. Okay. When somebody sends me a direct message and it shows they have shared something of mine, and then asked if I want to share it on my feed, do I just say yes, or is that already in my feed then?
Okay, cool. I can answer this question. I'll just loop back really quickly. Michael Rossi, yes, totally agree with the business suite. Cool. Look, I think a business suite could be a great idea. If you also think it could be a great idea, what I would suggest you do is maybe write a little post about it and try and tag LinkedIn or something like that into the post. Tag us as well if you do write that post. Talk about why you think a business suite would be a great idea if that's something you want. Yeah. Create a hashtag, try and get things going. We'll loop back to the Instagram question now, because I think lots of people have questions about Instagram. What is it? Can you put it back on the screen for me?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that again. So basically asking,
Okay, so
someone sends you a
this is kind
direct
of
message.
a message of two parts.
Yeah.
So when someone sends you a direct message and it says something mentioned you on their story, I'm presuming that's the message you've got. That is an automatic message that is generated when someone tags you on their story. That is not them sending that to you. It's just an automatic message that you are sent when someone tags you on their story. If they then message you further and say, do you want to share that on your feed? Or if it's Instagram that are asking if you want to share that on your feed, you can, but what you're going to be sharing on your feed is that someone else has shared something on their feed, unless it's just their post that they've tagged you in which case you should. So basically, if you've got a story that is a sharing of a post that you've done that you're tagged in, you should probably not reshare that on your story, because then you're sharing it for a third time. If someone has made a unique bit of content that you did not start and tagged you in it on their story and you get that message, you should probably reshare that onto your story and tag them in it as well as other people that could be interested. That would be my main bit of advice. If that's not the question you're asking and I've misunderstood it, perfectly cool. Happy to answer other Instagram questions.
I realised this week that my most recently used hashtags are on my LinkedIn profile, but not in Camel Case. Someone from LinkedIn is looking at it. I think what you're mentioning here is in creator mode in LinkedIn, where you select your hashtags at the top. They are not showing in Camel Case. Absolutely right. I had the same conversation with someone else in inclusion yesterday. They don't put them up there in Camel Case because they don't care about Camel Case. So good that you're mentioning that to them, because it really should be. There we go.
Again, this is a problem with LinkedIn that we've raised in the past. We've talked about on the show. The main problem on LinkedIn is that it's not actually built into the LinkedIn hashtag system, camel casing. If it was, that wouldn't be an issue for you. It's because all of LinkedIn's hashtags do not have camel casing that's a problem for you. So that's LinkedIn's fault. Definitely get on them. Try and get LinkedIn to change it.
I'm getting some T-shirts printed that say LinkedIn do Camel Case. If anybody wants one, they're going to be $12.99 and available in pink or yellow. So there we go. I just got to find a store to sell them. But
Instagram, I replied, thanks. Oh well, at least I'm polite. Yeah, look, honestly, if you see their story and it says they mentioned you, you can just reply, thank you for tagging me in this. Appreciate it. You know, something like that. Anything like that is perfectly fine. Again, if it's a piece of original content they've created that they've tagged you in, feel free to reshare it if you think that would look good on your story as well.
While we've got Jodie on, just want to thank Jodie for sending us one of these. If people haven't got one of these yet, you can get one of these.
I've got my fancy one as well, although it doesn't look very purple because of my white balance.
You'll see some lovely photos of us on Jodie's Instagram account, which is Be People Smart. You'll see some photos of me, Addy, and the dog, all wearing one of these. If you follow Jodie next week, basically, what this is for is, you know, when you go on holiday and you book all inclusive, you get a band, don't you?
Yeah.
And that band lets you get it lets you get kebabs or burgers at lunchtime, and then meals, you know, in the morning, evening, and as much booze or non-alcoholic drink, in the case of me and Addy, as you like. And that's great. And it's got nothing to do with that. So this is still an all-inclusive band. But rather than work at a bar, you can try it at a bar. In fact, if you buy one and want to use it at a bar, try it out, because that would be great. It's a good conversation starter. But you can use this to show that you're being all-inclusive in your business. So, and you get these from Jodie, the lovely Jodie. So get in touch with her if you're connected with her on LinkedIn or whatever. Yes, thank you. We do look amazing in them. There you go. Thanks, Michael. Oh, just a quick one on that granulation of content as well. I am absolutely certain that LinkedIn are doing stuff in the background with groups and with hashtags, in terms of being you're going to be able in the future to search content better by hashtag. In other words, just immediately turn on a content feed that is hashtags rather than your general flow. That will sort a lot of this problem out if they did that. because that way you could go, I want my content feed to be about, whatever.
It's so frustrating that we've spoken about so many things that could fix a lot of like fundamental issues with LinkedIn, and they seem so obvious, and yet they don't get implemented. But there's probably reasons we just don't know them. Or
I do know one of them. Look, that's missing at the moment.
From LinkedIn.
Yeah, they've left that out.
They haven't put that in.
No, that's so that once they put that back in, that will help immensely. What's this Cascades malarkey unread about? Oh, don't know. Can you give us a bit more? Can you give us a bit more detail there, Scott? That would be great. We'd love to answer.
Honestly, I'd love to answer it. Normally, there's not really a bit of the internet that me and Graham haven't seen during the week. But if there's something that's happened that we don't know, please let us know.
Can we just retract that last statement? There's not really a bit of the internet that you and me haven't seen during the week.
No.
Really? What? Mm-hmm. Not even the dark edges of it?
No, that's what I do.
Oh, that's what you do. Okay.
I just plug myself directly into the internet during the week, and I just absorb.
Even the dark edges of the internet.
So you know you're in good hands with us because I'm literally jacked into the internet at all times.
Yeah, you've seen the film The Matrix. He's a little bit like Keanu in that pod.
I'm not quite as cool because I had an Ethernet port put on my foot instead of a thing on the back of my neck.
Really? Is that what you had?
So I just stick the Ethernet port straight in.
Is that why you walk with a limp? There we go.
Yes.
Now I realise. Any more questions, folks? If you've got any more questions about social media, do pop them in the chat. I'd love to know what, Scott, you're going on about there, because I don't really understand that question at the moment. But if you could expand on that, that would be great.
I do have another topic whilst people are formulating their next questions. I would like to talk about today, because I think this will be really useful for everyone that's sat there wondering. What I'd like to talk about what goes into making a quality bit of video content on LinkedIn, and I can't remember. I don't know if you remember. Even I can remember. I don't know if you remember, but this is actually a question we got asked on pretty much the first Better Way to Do Friday that I was part of that we didn't answer, and I said I was going to formulate an answer, come back and answer the question. I have since formulated an answer. I've come back. I'm now.
Can I just tell you, by the way, you I don't know what it is you're banging, right? But you're banging something at your end, and it's your new mic, which is ever so much better, is picking all of it up.
There's a link.
There's a link, which means that I've got to actually copy that link and go somewhere to see. That will be interesting. You carry on. You tell people about that. I'm going to have a look at the link. Yeah.
What makes a good bit of content? So, video-wise, we're looking at basically how much time and effort goes into making a good bit of video content that's long form on the internet. So we've been changing WoW recently. In fact, the new thing of WoW should come out soon. The new season. The new season is totally different to the old seasons. It's much shorter, much funnier, and much more fast-paced. And there's a lot more editing that goes into making each episode. And basically, I just want to talk about making humor or finding humor in serious things. So I think the fundamental thing to remember when making video content that's longer than like 3 minutes or even 2 minutes, longer than 2 minutes online is to, even if you're talking and the talking's very serious, is to either break it up with jokes or have something going on in the background that's visually interesting. And remember that not everything needs to be on target in terms of what you're trying to talk about. For example, we have lots of cutaway jokes and gags within WoW that you'll see when the new episode comes out. We're very excited to show you all. But lots of cutaway jokes and gags that help keep the audience engaged throughout the show. And I think Graham, who has seen a preview episode, will back me up here. It's very, it's more engaging now.
Yeah, absolutely more engaging.
With cutaway gags and stuff.
But it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time.
So it's about committing to content then.
Yeah, it really is about committing to content. Just to give people an idea. So, in terms of a schedule for that, we would think about the content. You have to produce some pre-content that we react to. So that's time taken up. Then a group of us sit in different rooms all around the world and look at a couple of different platforms. One for recording, one for actually viewing the content that we're going to review. And then we record all of that over the duration of maybe an hour or so, and then you start editing it, which just takes a long time.
I would say a total for one episode of WoW, and we record them and make them in batches, so we don't really edit them at one episode at a time. But one episode of WoW probably takes at least 16 hours of manpower from start to finish of like solid working to make.
Yeah. Plus captions, voiceover if needed. The way it works is because it's recorded but then played through the live platform, it will then caption. And remember, comedy doesn't always resonate. Yeah, but we don't care about that. If it doesn't resonate with someone,
we do also we play each other and bounce ideas, and we you know,
yeah.
I'm constantly sending edits off to people and going, "Did you like that? Was that funny?" I try not to stick to one humor style either within the edit, so there's normally something for everyone.
Yeah, but let's just go back to that again, because, you know, if comedy doesn't resonate, who cares? I mean, really, because look, some people just don't have sense
this
of
is
humor.
really important. We've spoken about this before. I was giving advice on a younger person that wanted to start YouTube, but I've spoken about this before. It's really important on the internet and with whatever you're doing. These things, when you start them, are going to take more time than they produce money initially. So what's really important above all else is that you're enjoying the content you make. It's something you're happy with. You put things out that you like, that you're happy with, that you think would be great.
Oh yeah, but you see, I'm neurodivergent anyway, so you know, if I don't find it funny, nobody will.
Reels.
Reels
are
becoming the most popular way of posting at the moment on Insta, and arguably get more traction than static images. Why do you think this is? Well, interesting. And actually, this goes back to Scott's point that Scott was pointing out, and we're just going to actually have a little look at what Scott was talking about as well. So I'm going to share screen, and I'm going to go to a Chrome tab. I'm going to go to Jake Poses LinkedIn. This is the profile that he's talking about, and Jake Poses. There, he's just posing right there. I love this lovely banner that he's got. That's very creative. It's got nothing on it. Jake's talking about this, which is coming to LinkedIn. Like all things on LinkedIn, you might find that it takes a little while for it to roll out, but basically it's carousels on LinkedIn. Thank goodness. It's the idea that
already had carousels, or is this a...
You've got the ability at the moment to upload a post, which is made up of like a PDF file, so that you can carousel through a document.
Yes.
You've got that ability, but what he's talking about is you're going to have the ability to upload multiple videos, so they will be swipeable videos. All right,
in the format of Instagram, basically.
In the format of Instagram, basically, because guess what? Everybody liked Instagram, so there we go. Exactly what Michael was talking about.
That's exciting. I didn't know about that. If you like Instagram, the Instagram format is coming to LinkedIn. I presume that will work with photos as well. You'll be able to carousel photos
and video content. So we can get really creative with very short form video content, and it'll be like, wow. And it will be full of ads.
The first one we'll probably try. I think it's just the simple one that really blew up when Instagram started, of someone like handing something off to the person next to them and then someone taking it. We'll probably try that in different locations. Kimberly,
what's up, everyone? What's up? I don't know what. Probably this tape.
That is not up. That is not up.
I've also found that this is missing from LinkedIn as well. Not only is this little nut missing, but
both of those are missing.
This pink gaffer tape's missing. So
Up is a Disney Pixar film about an old man and a little Boy Scout and a dog.
Yeah.
Just in case you were wondering.
I'm just going to go back to Jodie's point about comedy. Not only is it neurodivergent people, Jodie, it's also some comedy doesn't actually translate very well across different countries.
Yes.
You have to understand that different countries have a different sense of humor as well. And actually, us British are really awful at that because we do assume that everybody has a sarcastic English sense of humor. And there you go. Clouds, sky, movie, laugh out loud. Yup. There we go.
Wow, it really hurt my soul when you said laugh out loud rather than lol. Right, let's do this. Let's do this question because we never actually answered it.
Yeah.
Sorry for making you wait, Michael. We're going to do it now. Reels are becoming more popular than posting pictures. Why? Because video content is more engaging than photos. It's pretty obvious. Really, I mean, which would you rather look at? A picture or a
million
reel?
words?
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Richard.
There's also something we will. I'll talk about whatever Richard's written in a minute, but there's also something to do with attention spans. So attention spans are getting shorter and shorter and shorter, especially for younger generations. Reels and video content is way more engaging and just in general way better at holding attention. There's actually Jodie will love this as well because it caters more to people with ADHD who are. It's on the rise at the moment. More people being diagnosed with ADHD, but basically, the studies that I've seen suggest that a picture will hold someone's attention span on a subject they're not interested in. A picture can hold someone's attention span for half a second, and on a subject they're engaged with can hold their attention span for about 2 or 2.5 seconds. And then the studies I've seen for videos and stuff like Reels is on a subject they're not engaged with, you can get them to stop and look at something for 2.5 seconds, which is the same amount of time as an engaging picture. And if they are engaged with it, they're likely to watch the end of the video. Yeah. So that's really, it's a massive difference in terms of how much engagement you can get off of that.
And can we just say we have first-hand experience of that as well, because your youngest brother, who's waiting for a diagnosis of what they believe is ADHD, we know. I mean, just look at him. You know, if you put him in front of a book, it is a nightmare to try and get him to focus on a book and try and read, etc. But sit him in front of video content, and he's totally there. And in terms of absorbing that content, if you quiz him on something that's in that content afterwards, most of it's gone in. Absolutely, most of it. He will actually remember whole bits of it and go and actually start quoting it afterwards.
Richard is totally right with the point he was making. We are evolved to listen to video and watch video more. And it's not even just predator instincts. It's also that we're evolved to engage socially. Humans are primarily evolved as social creatures, and we do not feel the need socially to stop and look at a picture. There's no force to do that. If it's a selfie, we feel slightly encouraged to do that because it's someone's face and we might meet their eye line for a second. But with video, we feel very pressured to stop and listen because someone's talking, and it can feel quite rude to move on. So there is a subconscious thing going on there.
I like this one. As a multidisciplinary artist, I have no preference. Images, video, words, all really good for me. All have different interests and benefits for me and my audience. Totally agree. But I would say that not everybody's in that creative zone. So it's I think that's one of the great things about being creative is actually you do explore, or you do want to explore quite often, different medium, etc., and what that actually gives people in terms of purpose, etc. And you would explore it for yourself.
Here's a really interesting way of looking at it that I was talking to someone else that does social media video content as well. They were talking to me about this, and we were discussing why video is so good and why it dominates a lot of social media.
Thanks
Great,
for
it's
coming,
been great
Michael.
having you. Come again next week; it'd be awesome. So here's the thing: think about words as, let's say words are the lowest form of. They're not, but let's say words are the lowest form on our 3 tiers of words, images, video. Right? Can words be video?
Yes.
Sort of. So basically, you've got words, and then you've got images, and then you've got video. And the reason it is in that hierarchy is because an image can have words inside of it, but words can't really have images inside of them, apart from the images you make in your head. A video can have images inside of it, but an image can't have a video inside of it because it's not an image, it becomes a video. So videos have the capability of having images and words in them, as well as having all the other things.
Genius. You see what they've done there? See what they've done there by inventing video?
It's just a hierarchy.
I mean, Buggles, right? All those many years ago. No, let's go there because it is quite funny.
I just made this really, go
quite
for it.
profound.
Go for
but
Buggles.
look, no, what was the point of that song though? Right, that song came about at the sort of birth time of MTV. All right, video killed the radio star. What was the point that was being made there to some extent, which was that, and actually what's interesting about that is that actually MTV as such has kind of died a death.
Yes.
In a way. But it was the birth of creative video. And actually, whilst radio itself has had a renaissance, what has actually had a renaissance or helped in the renaissance of radio has been live streaming of radio, especially video content of radio,
Yes.
right? How many people watch radio now, right? How many times if you Google radio, do you actually see them all sitting in the studio?
It's so funny you mentioned this because I was going to make a similar point about something else. Okay, so podcasts, right? And some of the bigger podcasts. So a lot of the big podcasts are free. And they pay for that through one of 2 ways. They almost always have some sort of sponsor for every episode, which is perfectly normal. And they also normally have a Patreon. And a Patreon means that somebody that really likes the show can go and support them and pay them a bit of money per month. And as a result, they get some exclusive bonus stuff. And a lot of the times, the exclusive bonus stuff is access to watching them, like the video feed of the podcast. Now, you wouldn't think that makes that much of a difference, being able to watch these people talk rather than just listen to it. But people love it. People really love the ability to just sit and watch these people talk.
Indeed. And I think that's a really powerful thing.
I love Richard's point, but the image created by words can be more powerful than literal images. Think of poetry. It would be hard to turn a powerful poem into an equally powerful video. It can be quite hard to turn a powerful poem into an equally powerful video. Thank you for being here, Jody. Love you being here.
Have a good weekend.
I think this strays away slightly from social media, but I do, having studied film at uni and looked into some of the philosophies and stuff, and the philosophers talking about this, there are some interesting reasons why lots of people think that words are like some of the most supreme art form, right? And the main reason is that you actually have most of the power in terms of doing the creative work. So here's a really interesting study. Creative people and people that are creative, and I mean creative in the psychology sense of creative, so they're actual high in the trait of creativeness. Mm-hmm. Those people prefer reading normally to people that have less of the trait of creativeness, who prefer films and stuff. And a lot of the reason why that is because the creative has more control over how they perceive the images written in the book, because the author has the least amount of control over what you're seeing. You can credit the words all you want, but you're actually doing a lot of the heavy lifting with creating the images in your head. See, two people can read a book and have a totally different image of what was being described in that book with the same words. Whereas it's harder for that to happen with film. But
although having said that, it's actually quite clear from some of the experiences that we've had of film. We're going to watch film and then talking about critics having watched that film, that there can be completely different readings from different people of that film.
Readings are different from images, though.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But here's the other thing, right? And this is where it links back into social media. So how much more effort is it for you even as a creative to create a mental image in your head based off of words than it is to just see an image presented in front of you? A ton more effort. And if you did that with every single post you saw that was just words on social media, it would take ages and you'd be creatively drained from a very short session. Why does video dominate social media? Because it is the most palpable and most palatable form of content. You don't drain your energy as much watching video because the majority of the work is being done for you. And so that means that people can scroll for longer and access content for longer. And people prefer doing that. So that's why video dominates.
Now, I was just going to share something else, if I can, on this same subject. Yet again, here we are. We're just showing stuff all the time here. So here's this is a music podcast that I do, and I just want to show you here one of the things. Quick upload. So now look, what this is now asking for is either, I just wonder whether it could show. Yeah, here we are. New episode. Choose quick upload to select a video file. So this is a new thing. Introducing video podcasts on Spotify. All right. So effectively, even Spotify is getting in on the act there, which is that they're now allowing you to create a video podcast. All right.
Yeah.
Just upload your video file, and you now can watch video podcasts from within the Spotify app. If you didn't know that, you do now. So it's, because again, I think people do like that.
Yeah, I think people love that.
And also look at we have Amazon Music in the house. Amazon Music are now beginning to, for key tracks on albums, etc., they're beginning to drop in the video of that. And then quite often, if it's a large enough band, they do a curation of that band where they're putting like a documentary on that band as well, so that so that everything feels a bit more curated, and that when you get into someone, there's a little bit more value there that you can get.
Oh yes.
Now this is a huge one.
That's huge. I've already pre-read it though, so I'm ahead of you.
Okay.
It's actually so big though that we can only see up to R. So you might have written more. This is all we can read. The point they're making here, is that the oldest and first languages were pictures, because pictures require less interpretation than words, which kind of piggybacks off what I was saying. I think you're right. Basically, the reason why more languages turned into words is just because, first of all, words are easier for like universal use, and also because you can do a wider variety of things with words than pictures. But words also required more educational institutes to be set up, because it's much harder to teach people to use words than it is to teach people to use pictures. Because obviously, if I draw a picture of a bird, you probably know what that means. It means bird.
Try the cat test on your audience. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that, Richard? The cat test. I mean, interestingly,
it's the cat test. Are we talking about the cats? No, surely not.
We'll find out. We'll find out in a minute.
Okay.
He's not just talking about posting stuff about cats, is he?
No.
Let's just look at that. I mean, I was thinking while you were talking about that, emojis as well. Now,
Yes.
recently, LinkedIn added in, and I hate to really go on about it because it's old news now, but they added in the laughing emoji.
No, they added in the laughing react.
Or the laughing react.
The laughing emoji already existed.
Yeah, all right. The laughing react. But the point is, there must have been a reason for wanting that, which is that, again, it's in terms of quick engagement, press of a button, etc., etc. There was felt that something was missing. Yeah,
they wanted comedy. They wanted to basically, if you don't have a laughing react, then it feels worse to do comedy, because clearly the platform doesn't have a way of people engaging with that in the right way. But if you have a laughing react, that means that people can feel more comfortable creating comedy content, and that the LinkedIn content can be pushed that direction, which is what we've seen happen. More people have created comedy stuff since it happened.
But of course you can comment and say something funny in return, or you can do you can make a comment that gives you a response to that. But it's about the immediacy of imagery, isn't it? I think that's again, it's a time-based thing on this.
Also, what are you going to do? What before the laugh react, you watch something funny, what are you going to do? You're going to like it? Because a like kind of seems very half-hearted, but you're not going to do a love, are you? Because you didn't love it, you found it funny. But you're not going to do a support either. You don't support a comedy video.
No.
You found it funny. So which react are we going to do?
I'm waiting for them to bring in that. I'm waiting for them to bring in the hate react. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Every other platform has a hate react.
We think? There's a question for people. Do you think that LinkedIn should have a hate react? How would you feel if there was a hate reaction? How would you feel? How would you feel? Yeah, and how would you feel if people hated on your content? Okay, so as in with claws at the end of their pause. Yeah,
we'll have a look at that for next time. I think we'll have
we're
a look
into come back to that.
A cat test.
Circle round. Okay, anybody else with any more questions for us? We're 3/4 of the way in, well, a bit more than that, into this week's show.
We're fair way in.
Any more queuing up at the door they are today. Look at you. In fact, by the way, we'd like to stop at this point and say thank you ever so much to everybody that's turned up. Thanks for everyone that comes on a regular basis and supports this. Do tell your friends. I mean, it's an nice open space where we can talk about LinkedIn as a platform, other platforms as well, answer questions on social media. There's no right or wrong. We're not taking the higher ground on this. I'm not got the higher ground, and it's not about that. It's about learning, sharing.
Just do Gandalf's voice for Obi-Wan.
I did, yeah. Which just confusing.
I do not have the higher ground.
How long will it take for LinkedIn to get the laugh react to all of us? Has it not done? Have they not done that yet?
I still do not have it.
It's really
people over at LinkedIn. I find lots of things funny. Please give me a laugh react. I will use it often, more than most of these people you've already given it to. I guarantee it. I will make it my mission to use the laugh react. It
is something that I find rather odd about LinkedIn is the way that the elongated way in which it rolls out features. It is so elongated.
Do you know what's great is when you first told me about it, you first said, well, they roll out features slowly for different people. And I said, that's ridiculous. And you just were so normalized to it. You were like, no, that's just how they do it. I said, why? Why is that how they do it? And you were like, because it needs time to implement. No, it doesn't. That is not how any programmer
do you know what? Do you know what, Addy? I actually went away and thought about it afterwards and thought, now I'm talking. Absolute nonsense.
There's no any programmer will tell you that is not how that works. You do not need any amount of time to implement a system across a system. You can just activate it, basically.
Yeah.
They can update it for everyone at the same time if they want to.
Seems only those in creator mode have it. Yeah, but you've got creator mode.
I've got creator mode. Do not have it yet.
And you don't have it yet. No. And yet, and here's the other thing, and yet they're now starting to give out LinkedIn Live and audio rooms and whatever to just about anybody, but they're not doing it. They still haven't rolled it out to all creators on the platform. And it's like half the people you're giving it to are not going to use it. Half those people are not creating, and yet you've got other people that clearly, if you look at their content, would be crying out to actually produce some decent content with those facilities. And, you know, it's a bit like the one that we looked at earlier, right? The carousel thing with video. No doubt they'd just give that to a whole load of people first, and some of them will be creators, and it will be great, and some of them will just be like Joe Blogs. And I'm not being funny, Joe. I love you, but the point is,
I'll just message him. I'll message the guy that's in charge of it and be like, "Can I have this, please?"
Yeah.
Can you please? I'm always the last to get everything. I'm still waiting on my laugh emoji. Can I please have this first before any? In fact, I'd like it before everyone else. I'd like a week of just me being able to use it because it will be great.
Let's go into that very quickly. It's a favourite topic of ours. What feature would we almost like to see on LinkedIn? Have you got a dream feature? Is there something that you'd really feel is missing at the moment that would be the absolute bliss if it suddenly arrived on LinkedIn tomorrow? What would it be? You know, I mean, they've done some wonderful new features lately, like newsletter rehash of articles, and you know, some great really cutting edge stuff, like putting a new reacting.
Two things I'd really love them to do. I've got two things that I really would love, and then I've got a third thing that they just need to do, and it would take 5 seconds. So the third thing that they should do, and it would take 5 seconds, is just to do the camel casing thing that we've spoken about.
Yeah, just get the accessibility right.
A big difference to like so many people, and it would take them all of 10 minutes to camel case things properly. Right. The two things I think they should implement. I hadn't thought about it before today, but I think they should implement a business suite. I really think that would make a big difference. The primary reason I think that would make a massive difference is because people would stop complaining that there's not a business suite, which would be awesome. So LinkedIn, if you could do that so people would stop complaining about it, that would be epic. You know, I'm happy to take full credit for that idea, and you can pay me lots of money if you want to. You know, but if it ends up being called LinkedIn Business Suite, we're just, you know, I'm going to sue them because this went out on this date.
We have proof.
We have proof. And
on
the
LinkedIn.
Second thing, it just gets mysteriously taken down, does it?
Yeah.
The second thing that I'd love, thank you very much, Richard. The second thing I'd love is subtitling on videos for everything automatically. That would be a lifesaver. That'd be great.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it would make sense.
More codecs for videos, because we've discovered I forgot about that being a problem. But the amount of codecs that you can actually use on LinkedIn is shocking. Yeah.
What would I like to see? I'd actually like to see. I'd love to see the kind of hashtag search. That really would do it for me. I'd love to just be able to change my content feed from searching by, you know, people to no, I'm just going to go hashtag here. So I can come in at any given time and just go, I just want to look at all posts that have got the hashtag social media, or I can look at all posts that have got the hashtag a better way to do Friday. And there we go. And suddenly, you know, the only thing you see is our content, because, we're the only people using that hashtag, but that's fine. I mean, just that way, if you've got a specific subject that you want to have a look at that date, hashtag inclusion, hashtag this or whatever, you can hashtag it, and there you go. And you can kind of do it by going through the search and everything at the top, but you just want a search feed where you can just twizzle it over from one to the other, and and maybe even have your favorite hashtag searched. So once you've done it once, you can just search by your favorite hashtags that you have saved, and that's it.
I think so. I think that system would work really well.
That would be great. And I'd also, how about a little bit of let's have a look at what people are doing on other platforms as well. Yeah, you can already search by hashtags, but it's a bit effortless. Well, no, it is a big effort at the moment. Trending hashtags too. Yeah, you can do all of that. You can do all of that, but what I'm saying is a proper hashtag search.
You can't create a feed. I think you're using the wrong terminology. You don't want a search. You want a feed.
No, I don't want a search. I want to be able to hashtags.
You want to curate a feed based on hashtags. Sorry, Chris, you're totally right. Graham is using the wrong word. He would like a feed rather than a search, because you can already search.
Yeah, it's been quite a long time since breakfast. It's nearly lunchtime. Always up for a feed. Yeah, no, absolutely. That is what I mean. I want a feed. I want to be able to change my feed from being people based to being hashtags based, and I know they've been playing with it in the background, because loads of people found that happened to their LinkedIn a few weeks back, and they thought it was broken, but actually,
someone went rogue.
Someone went rogue in the development.
Fix LinkedIn.
Overnight, I'm going to try all of these things and see whether anyone hates it.
Overnight, I've been listening to a better way to do Friday, and I'm going to implement all of their ideas into the algorithm.
I'm going to tell my boss they were all my ideas. Yeah,
the greatest prank ever.
Yeah, pranks on LinkedIn. That would be great. Oh, we did it very quickly because we've got a few minutes left. I did actually have a takeover this week on my profile.
Yeah, I saw.
For an hour. But that was great, and it worked so well. And that was your original big idea. Let's have some takeovers on it.
I still think we're going to do it at some point.
Absolutely. I did a bit of a poll on it. Loads of people going, "Oh, I'm really not sure about that." I couldn't possibly try. I'd need to know all of the finer detail. Other people going, "Yeah, just go for it." I'd love to send you my idea.
I tell you what, we are really interested in working with some people that are ready to go. Come on, let's just go for it. So if you feel like you'd be down for us to just come in and take over, and you to take over ours, even for just an hour, just message us, because we're ready. We're ready to do it. Cards on the table. We are
keen
ready.
As mustard. Yeah, absolutely. Because I'll tell you what that achieves is magic. Absolute magic. The ability to give someone else your audience for an hour. Just do it for an hour. Give your audience to somebody else for an hour. That network that you've built up, let them talk to that audience. If they've got, clearly you have to set some parameters, but if they've got something good to say, etc., they thought about it, And here's the other thing. This goes right back to the beginning when I talked this morning on my profile about laziness and sloppiness in terms of content, right? If you actually had to do your content on somebody else's profile, you'd really think about it. You'd really put some effort into what you were going to do, right? And maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need a little bit of accountability. Maybe we need a little bit of, a reason to actually think about it. Because I'm sure a lot of people, and I read it in people's posts, people are waking up each morning going,
as well. Now,
what am I going to post today? In fact,
now look, Graham.
Yeah.
Graham, we never finish this on time,
right.
But we haven't got any extra questions.
No,
we're 59 minutes 25 in.
Yeah, we are.
We could wrap this up in 30 seconds. We could
actually wrap this up in 30 seconds. Okay, let's go for it.
Okay, LinkedIn, get better. Please stop doing bad things. Do good things. Everyone that was here today, you're awesome. You asked great questions. If you've made it this far into the video and you're watching this on catch up, well done for sitting through 59 minutes and 50 seconds of this.
We love you lots. We are a better way of life. This is a better way to do Friday. We will be back same time, same place next week. We can move now, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Bye, everyone.